Namaste, Jai Bharat. Bharat had always been very close to the people of Turkey and even the Turkish administration in the past. When they had a natural disaster hit them, we were the first to help them, first to go to Turkey and support them, and the people called us Dost. The people called us Dost. The people clapped as our people were returning. That was done by the Bharatiya Vaisena, the Indian Air Force, and of course our nation. We were there to support them. Turkey and Bharat had smooth relations, good relations, but I don't know what game Pakistan played during Operation Sindoor. The Turkeys stabbed us from the back. This is the result of transparency or straightforwardness or honesty for you to think. They loaded their Globemaster aircraft with weapons of destruction, drones to missiles, whatever, and gave them to Pakistan. Pakistan can't operate these things very obviously. They must have given their technicians also, or the soldiers behind these operating platforms of their military equipments. So Turkey also put their soldiers at work to launch drone. Against whom? Against someone who helped them when there was a crisis. Pakistan did not go there to help them. That's the thought which Turkey is doing it these days. It's up to them. So that was a good lesson to us. Whom to trust, whom to not to trust gets tested in time. So we did not keep quiet. We supported the so-called adversaries of Turkey in whichever small manner is what we could do. And now the Turkey is in dilemma. I don't know if they ever regret for what the backstabbing which they have done, but they should be realizing, at least the people of Turkey must be realizing that they backstabbed the Bharat. We didn't go and disturb them at all. On the other hand, we went to help them. And they stabbed us from the back on whatever account they think it's Ummah, Islamic Ummah, or being one with Pakistan, or listening to the pleas and cries of Pakistan. We don't want to know it. I don't want to know it at least. And they went to support them against Bharat. They should have thought 2 times before doing such things. That this will have ill feelings among supposed friends. We treated them as friends with transparency. Look how they reacted with complete blacked out relations, blocked relations, rather aggressiveness. They supplied their military equipments, and of course what happened is there's a karma. Turkey is facing their karma. They put all their weapons. They sent their drones. Their own people sitting in Pakistan were sending their drones, but none of their drones became effective, or they were all destroyed. This reduced the drone story of Turkey into dust. They were obviously boisterous about their equipment, whatever they have. Turkey is not a very powerful nation. Turkey is not a very rich nation, etc., etc., etc. I need not to say, you're supposed to know. The emptiness of their military equipments were demonstrated in the Operation Sindoor, the conflict between Bharat and Pakistan. They sent their drones and they thought they'll be immensely successful with the Bharat. Completely successful they thought, but they were completely destroyed by our air defense system. Their drones could make no impact at all. The missiles could make no impact at all. The Turkish weapon story ceases to exist with this Operation Sindoor. That's called karma. China is another big brother who would never come in picture directly, but who will always sit behind the curtain and make Pakistan act. Pakistan is born to be instrument in the hands of others. They never had intrinsic value. They don't have anything of their own as original to them. That everything is borrowed. That everything is borrowed, that everything is duplicate. The scripts which they write in, borrowed from Iran. The religion which they say, they suppose they are borrowed but not wrongly, and not rightly. They created their own thinking about religion, which must be far from the religion. They borrowed everything, they have nothing of their own. Not even the language which they speak, the script which they write in. All these things are common. Their national anthem is not in their own language, any of their own language. At least if it was in Baluchi, it would have been original to them. Even that is not the case. So Pakistan had always been an instrument at the hands of others because they don't have their own work. They lost the work culture. Ever since they separated from Bharat, they lost the work culture, and they of course are entirely boisterous and never transparent. Lies and deceit have got into the blood. They start depending on the concept of backyard to justify their lies and deceit operation. That's their problem. And they supported Pakistan. They supported Pakistan with weapons, and the weapons got exposed, that they are worthless, the world comes to know. Same case with China. China never comes in picture, it uses Pakistan. And Chinese weapon also lost their market because of the performance of these weapons in a war. A performance of a weapon in a battle shall create the credibility of that equipment, which so people will try to buy. Both Turkey and China lost that. The weapon market has gone down. And Turkey is in for fear. Greece is equipped with Bharat's weapons. Cyprus, similar. These two are arch enemies of Turkey. Why did they ask for trouble? Why did they invite trouble? Why they destroyed the relation? Why did they choose Pakistan of all people in the world against Bharat? They will backstab anybody given an opportunity, but you did that to us. Again karma, tit for tat. Karma, you suffer. You asked for it, you created it, and you have to endure it. And face the music, whatever, good or bad, whatever. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.